What up, YouTube? It's man Julio here with another Throwback Thursday, and this is the series on Thursdays in which I will tell you stories of my life. I'm just thinking about maybe on some of these episodes I actually show you a picture around the, age group I was at when this happened. But this episode I won't be showing a picture, but in future episodes maybe I will. In this episode I will be talking about what I mentioned last week. I do have a scar on my hand as well, and you guys probably don't see my hand that often, but yeah, that's my hand. I have a scar on my left knuckle on my index finger on my left hand, and that was because when I was 4 years old, I was in a car accident. Yeah, I know it was spooky, but it was four, and my family wanted to take a trip with one of my friends' families to Six Flags, and our friend's family's car broke down or had a flat tire or something like that. So we had to pull over and we had to, wait for them to get all that stuff figured out and all that stuff. And the next thing I remember is just being in pain, I guess. I don't remember a lot because I was still 4 years old, so it was really hard to remember. But since it was such a traumatic event, it was pretty, memorable. I feel like I had like a dramatic, like cinematic moment because I heard like my babysitter screaming "Why?" like in like a movie theater, like like with like people and everything. There's dramatic music and everything. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I was probably hallucinating or some shit. But I was 4 years old and I was in a baby seat. In the back of the car, like a booster seat and everything like that, and I got stuck in my booster seat because we got hit by an 18-wheeler, and I got stuck in my booster seat. Like everyone thought that I was gonna lose my legs because they couldn't get me out of my seat because the car was like bent in on my lap and I couldn't move my legs, or they couldn't like get me out of the seat without maybe having to cut me out. But no, they got me out. I have legs. Um, and so they pulled me out, and I was 4 years old, and I just had a traumatic event happen to me. So I'm screaming for my mom, because when I was a kid, I was definitely a mama's boy, and screaming, mom, 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 and I get laid right next to her on a field that was like right next to us. Like they laid us out all on the field after the accident. My father wasn't with me. It was me, my mom, my sister, and my babysitter, I think, in our car. And then I'm just like, what the hell, and here was where like things got like pretty like real for me because the separation between me and my mom had like to exist because my mom got put in an ambulance and I'm a 4 year old kid and I got lifted up in a helicopter, and that's where I actually originally got my fear of heights. A while back I was afraid of heights for like ever, and I think that definitely had to do with it just because of like the emotions tied in with me being in a helicopter and being separated from my mom definitely made me afraid of heights. Yeah, sassy. Sappy, not sassy. Sappy. Yeah, I know. But that's how it was. And my babysitter was in the helicopter with me and just trying to talk me through it because I was freaking out. I was 4 years old in an accident and I was separated from my mom. Like, I think my mom would be like the only one to like help me, cure me and all that. But no, and so I get to the hospital. I had glass like everywhere. I remember, I know this is embarrassing to say. I remember that I had actually like glass in my ass. Like they had to like pull like shards of glass out of my ass. I don't know why I remember that, but it was just funny. I had glass like behind my ears and like in my ears and everything still. And the only actual thing that I got from it was a hand scar. So this is a permanent thing. This is the first scar that I ever got, I believe, except for like your belly button or whatever. But yeah, and I remember when they were doing it because I remember seeing it bloody and everything like that. Like it wasn't closed up. They didn't do it yet. But, like they didn't put me under either. They were just like, we're just gonna stick you with this needle and then do it. And I remember when they stuck me with the needle, I was freaked out because when I was a kid, I was super afraid of needles too. And they got me into it, and then they distracted me while they did it. And then my dad came to pick us all up because our car was totaled. And we had two cars, luckily, and my dad was at work, and he came to pick us up, and I just remember, yeah, it was, like, the scariest thing, like, ever. Like, I tried to be as close with my mom as possible after, like, that day because I didn't want to be, like, separated from her again. But yeah, that was my Throwback Thursday, a car accident, my hand scar. It's a very traumatic event. It was my first accident, I would say. First scar. So it was a lot of, like, first for me, and, it taught me how to be stronger, I guess, just because of the fact that my father wasn't there with us. So I had to be, like, the man, but I'm still only 4 years old. I'm just lucky that I didn't have to, like, get my legs cut off, because I probably would have been downer on life. But hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Throwback Thursday. And until next week, peace, but grease, Middle East priest that touch the little boys. Grease out.